Good evening. Tonight we're going to start with our Unit 4, Lesson 7. Rename fractions as a sum of equivalent smaller unit fractions. And I'm sure you're looking at a word in there right now and saying, what is equivalent? When you look at the word equivalent, you should see another word in there. It's not spelled out correctly, but you can hear it. Equivalent, equivalent. When you hear that, I hope that you're kind of making a connection to the word equal. And tonight, we're going to see how 1/2 is equal to 2/4. These are called equivalent fractions. 1/3 is equal to 2/6. So tonight we're going to demonstrate by using different ways of using pictures, number lines, area models to figure out how 1/2 is equal to 2/4 or 1/3 is equal to 2/6. And these are called equivalent fractions. So let's get started. The fraction we're going to be looking at, again, like I previously said, is 1/2. Where does 1/2 look on the number line? Well, the 1/2 looks in the halfway point right here. Right here is 1/2. And the halfway mark between 0 and a whole of 1, which never got marked. Let's put a 1 here. The halfway point is 1/2. Right there. And 1/2 is equivalent to 2/4. And how we do that is if we broke this up, the halfway point, and we go to 1, we would say 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Because remember we said when the numerator and the denominator are the same, they equal a whole. Again, 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4. So 2/4 meets up with that halfway point, which equals 1/2. So 1/2 and 2/4 are equivalent. So what would that be as when we break it down in an equation? So we could say 2/4 is equal to 1/4, which is right there, plus another 1/4, which is right here, to give us 2/4. And we know that by just looking at the number line because the number line is broken up into fourths. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. Okay, so we have the fraction 4/5, and we're going to be using a number line and create an equation to show how 4/5 and 8/10 are equivalent. This number line right now is appearing to be broken up into tenths. And how we know that is that we have 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, and then the 1 represents 10/10. Remember, we never count the 0, and we land on the whole that represents what that denominator says. So it would be 10/10. So how does 4/5 equal to 8/10, or 8/10 is equal to 4/5? So what we're going to do is, since it's broken up in tenths, let's see how we can break it up into fifths. And we do this by doing this right here. We got 1/5. Let me actually change the color. We have 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 5/5. So we just skipped to the next dash here, next tick mark, to get to 4/5 because it's split up by halves. We multiply the top and the bottom by 4/5, and we're going to get 8/10. So it's kind of like that halfway point between the tenths. So how does that look like as an equation? So if we have 4/5, that would be, again, this is 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5. So we have 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5 plus 1/5. But what happens if we have 8/10? Let's make this a little bit smaller. Same thing. We're going to break up. We're going to take 8/10 now to show this as an equation. And what we do here is we're going to take that 1/5 and plus 1/5. We're going to go 1/10 plus 1/10. Okay, so because right here is 1/10, this is 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, 5/10, 6/10, 7/10, 8/10. And then we're going to go 1/10 plus 1/10 plus 1, let's make it smaller, 1/10 plus 1/10, and another one, 1/10 plus 1/10. And this is all going to equal to 4/5. So we know that 4/5 and 8/10 are equivalent. Okay, now we're going to be using an area model and equation to really kind of show 1/4 and what that is equivalent to. The first row is showing 1/4 right here. This is 1/4 because 1 is colored in out of this row of fourths. But then let's say if we start adding on another row, there's another row and then another row broken up into fourths. And then we just color in the next one to match the very top. What do we have now? Well, we've got this section right here is now become 3/12. It's no longer fourths because we kept adding rows, and we have now 12 of those boxes, so it's broken up into 12ths, and now 3 is colored in. We started off with 1/4, and we ended up with 3/12. So 1/4 is equal to 3/12. And how that looks like as an equation, we've got 1/4 is equal to 1/12 plus 1/12 plus 1/12. And why I'm showing that broken up in, why am I putting 3 of those 12ths in the parentheses is because I'm trying to show 3/12. So therefore, we've got 1/4 is equal to 1/12 plus 1/12 plus 1/12. So 1/4 is equal to 3/12. 1/4 is equivalent to 3/12, and 3/12 is equivalent to 1/4. Okay, so we have a fraction of 2/3, and we're going to be using the area model and an equation to help show how 2/3 is equivalent to another fraction. So let's start coloring this in. We have, here represents, this part represents 2/3. That shows this fraction right here. But now we want to show what could be equivalent. Well, if we added on another row, which I did here, and we colored in the same exact amount, what would be our fraction now? We would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's out of 6. So we would put 6 on the bottom. And how many colored in? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 4/6. So 4/6 must be is equivalent to 2/3. So how can we show that? Well, let's break it up into a parentheses. Right here we've got 1/6. And another one over here, 1/6. Give a parenthesis plus another 6 right here, and then our last 6 right here. So 1/6 plus 1/6 plus another group of 1/6 plus 1/6 is 4/6. So therefore, 2/3 is equal to 4/6. So now we have a number line to help us with equivalent fractions. And this one is showing us that 1/6 and 2/12 are equivalent. If you look at this number line, it's broken up into 12ths. So we never start at the 0. We start here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember, the whole represents 12/12. The numerator and the denominator have to be the same. So over here is representing 2/12. But how are they getting 6? Well, how they're getting 6 is they're breaking up those 12ths into another half. So over here is representing 1 6, 2 6, 3 6, 4 6, 5 6, and this becomes 6 6. So 6 6 and 12 twelfths are equivalent. So that shows us how 1 6 is equal to 2 twelfths, because they're basically cutting the twelfths into halves to get 2 sixths. To show this better, we would show 1 6 is equal to 1 12th plus 1 12th, which would be 2 twelfths. So 1 6 is equal to 2 twelfths. Our next one is using a area model here and shows 2 fifths are colored in. So 2 boxes are colored in out of 5, so 2 fifths. But let's just say that we decide to cut this in half. What do we have now? Well, we have how many it's cut up into? It's cut up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that represents the denominator, tenths, and what would be the numerator? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are colored in, so 4 tenths. So we need to show, we're showing that 2 fifths equivalent to 4 tenths. So we have our 2 fifths, and that's equal to 1 fifth plus 1 fifth. And now we have to show 2 fifths in showing how that's equivalent to 4 tenths by grouping it up. 1 tenth plus 1 tenth, that would be 2 tenths, plus 1 tenth plus 1 tenth. And then we have 2 fifths is equal to how many tenths? 4 tenths. These are equivalent fractions. Keep calm and find equivalent fractions. Yeah, right. I wish it was that easy. Like finding a rainbow. All right, SpongeBob, help us with the next one. So we have a number line, and we have marked 2/3. Find the equivalent fraction using this number line of 2/3. And I'd like to see it tomorrow. Would you rather have 8ths or 4ths of this pizza? Why am I always thinking of food when it comes to fractions? I don't know. Guess I'm always hungry. Have a great night. We'll practice this more tomorrow.